Hello, everyone. Welcome to our English learning podcast. My name is Adam.
Hi there, I'm Julia. We are very happy to have you with us today.
Yes, Julia. Today we have a very interesting topic to discuss. We will talk about social media and its impact on mental health.
That's right, Adam. Social media like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok is used by millions of people every day.
Yes, social media is everywhere. People use it to share photos, videos, and messages with their friends and family.
But while social media can be fun and useful, it can also have a big effect on our mental health.
Mental health is very important. It is about how we feel, think, and act. It helps us handle stress, relate to others, and make choices.
Exactly, Adam. When our mental health is good, we feel happy and can deal with problems well. But if our mental health is not good, we can feel sad, anxious, or stressed.
Today we want to learn more about how social media can impact our mental health. Can it make us feel better? Or can it make us feel worse?
To help us understand this better, we have a special guest joining us today. She is a psychologist and an expert on mental health.
Yes, her name is Dr. Emma. She will share her knowledge and give us some tips on how to use social media in a healthy way.
We are very excited to talk with Dr. Emma. She will help us learn how to keep our minds healthy while using social media.
Before we bring Dr. Emma on, let's talk a little more about social media. Julia, do you use social media?
Yes, I do, Adam. I use Instagram to share photos with my friends and see what they are up to. What about you?
I use Facebook to stay in touch with my family and friends. It is nice to see their updates and photos.
Yes, social media can help us stay connected. But sometimes it can also make us feel lonely or sad.
That's true, Julia. Sometimes we see other people's perfect lives and feel bad about our own lives.
Yes, Adam. That is why it is important to talk about this topic. We need to understand how to use social media in a way that is good for our mental health.
Absolutely, Julia. And that is why we have Dr. Emma with us today. She will help us understand the good and bad sides of social media.
So let's get started. Welcome to our podcast, everyone. We hope you find this discussion helpful and interesting.
Welcome back, everyone. Now, it's time to introduce our special guest. We are very excited to have her with us today. Let's welcome Dr. Emma. She is a psychologist who knows a lot about mental health.
Hello, Dr. Emma. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are very happy to have you here.
Hello, Adam and Julia. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I'm very happy to be here and talk about this important topic.
Dr. Emma, could you please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, Adam. I am a psychologist. This means I study how people think, feel, and behave. I help people who are having problems with their mental health, like feeling very sad, anxious, or stressed. I also teach people how to keep their minds healthy.
That sounds very interesting, Dr. Emma. How long have you been working as a psychologist?
I have been a psychologist for about 10 years now. I have worked with many different people, from children to adults, helping them understand and take care of their mental health.
That's amazing, Dr. Emma. Today, we want to talk about how social media can affect our mental health. Can you tell us why this is an important topic?
Yes, Adam. Social media is a big part of our lives today. Many people use it every day to connect with friends and family, share their lives, and see what others are doing. While it can be a great way to stay in touch, it can also have some negative effects on our mental health.
That sounds very interesting, Dr. Emma. How long have you been working as a psychologist?
I have been a psychologist for about 10 years now. I have worked with many different people, from children to adults, helping them understand and take care of their mental health.
That's amazing, Dr. Emma. Today, we want to talk about how social media can affect our mental health. Can you tell us why this is an important topic?
Yes, Adam. Social media is a big part of our lives today. Many people use it every day to connect with friends and family, share their lives, and see what others are doing. While it can be a great way to stay in touch, it can also have some negative effects on our mental health.
Thank you for that introduction, Dr. Emma. We are looking forward to learning more about the good and bad sides of social media from you.
I am happy to share what I know, Julia. It's important for everyone to understand how to use social media in a healthy way.
Dr. Emma, before we dive into the main topic, can you share with us one interesting fact about mental health that many people might not know?
Eat it? Sure, Adam. One interesting fact is that mental health is not just about being free from mental illness. It's also about having a positive state of mind. This means feeling good about yourself, managing stress well, and having healthy relationships with others.
That's a great point, Dr. Emma. Mental health is about overall well-being, not just the absence of problems.
Exactly, Julia. It's about living a balanced and fulfilling life. And understanding how social media affects us is part of that balance.
Thank you for that insight, Dr. Emma. We are excited to learn more from you. Now let's get into our main discussion about social media and mental health.
Yes, let's start. Listeners, stay with us as we dive deeper into this topic with Dr. Emma.
I'm ready. Let's begin.
Now that we have introduced our guest, Dr. Emma, let's dive into our main topic, social media and its impact on mental health. Dr. Emma, can you start by telling us what social media is?
Of course, Adam. Social media are websites and apps that allow people to create and share content or participate in social networking. Some popular examples are Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Snapchat. People use these platforms to share pictures, videos, and messages with their friends and family.
That sounds fun, Dr. Emma. It seems like a great way to stay in touch with people and see what they are doing. But can social media be bad for our mental health?
Yes, Julia. While social media can be fun and helpful, it can also have some negative effects on our mental health. For example, spending too much time on social media can lead to feelings of loneliness, anxiety, and depression.
Dr. Emma, why do people feel lonely or sad when they use social media?
That's a good question, Adam. One reason is that people often compare themselves to others on social media. They see pictures and posts of other people having fun, looking happy, or achieving great things. This can make them feel like their own lives are not as good or exciting. But what they forget is that people usually share only the best parts of their lives on social media, not the whole picture.
So, people are comparing their whole lives to just the highlights of others' lives. That doesn't seem fair.
Exactly, Julia. It's not a fair comparison, but it's very easy to fall into this trap. When people constantly see others looking happy and successful, they might start to feel inadequate or unhappy with their own lives.
Are there other ways that social media can affect our mental health, Dr. Emma?
Yes, Adam. Another way is through cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is when someone uses social media to harass, threaten, or humiliate another person. This can be very harmful and can lead to severe emotional distress, anxiety, and even depression.
That sounds terrible, Dr. Emma. Cyberbullying can really hurt someone.
Yes, Julia, it's a serious issue. Social media platforms are trying to address this by implementing stricter policies and providing tools for users to report bullying. But it's still a problem that many people face.
Dr. Emma, you mentioned anxiety earlier. How does social media cause anxiety?
Social media can cause anxiety in several ways, Adam. One way is through the fear of missing out, or FOMO. This is when people feel anxious because they think they are missing out on something important or fun that others are experiencing. For example, they might see their friends having a party and feel left out.
I can see how that would make someone feel anxious or sad.
Yes, Julia. Another way social media can cause anxiety is by creating pressure to be constantly available and responsive. People feel like they have to check their social media accounts all the time and respond quickly to messages and comments. This can be very stressful.
It sounds like social media can be overwhelming.
It can be, Adam. The constant notifications and updates can make people feel like they are always on call. This can lead to stress and anxiety because they never feel like they can truly relax.
So while social media can help us stay connected, it can also make us feel lonely, anxious, and stressed if we are not careful.
That's correct, Julia. It's important to be aware of these potential negative effects so that we can use social media in a healthy way.
Dr. Emma, what can people do to avoid these negative effects of social media?
There are several things people can do, Adam. First, they can limit their time on social media. Spending too much time online can lead to the negative feelings we talked about. It's good to take breaks and spend time doing other activities that make you feel good, like spending time with family, reading a book, or going for a walk.
That sounds like good advice, Dr. Emma. Taking breaks and doing other activities can help us feel better.
Yes, Julia. Another thing people can do is to be mindful of who they follow and interact with on social media. Following positive and supportive accounts and unfollowing those that make you feel bad can make a big difference. Also, if you see something that upsets you, it's okay to take a step back and not engage.
That makes sense, Dr. Emma. It's important to create a positive online environment for ourselves.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for explaining how social media can affect our mental health and for giving us tips on how to use it in a healthy way. This information is very helpful.
You're welcome, Julia. I'm glad to be able to share this information with you and your listeners. It's important for everyone to understand both the benefits and the risks of social media so they can use it in a way that supports their mental health.
Thank you, Dr. Emma. We look forward to learning more from you in the next segment about the signs of social media impact on mental health. Stay with us, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with more valuable insights from Dr. Emma.
Welcome back, everyone. In this segment, we'll talk about how social media impacts our mental health. Dr. Emma, you mentioned earlier that social media can make people feel happy, but it can also make people feel sad or lonely. Can you tell us more about that?
Of course, Adam. Social media can bring joy to many people because it allows them to connect with friends and family, share happy moments, and stay updated on each other's lives. Seeing positive posts and getting likes and comments can make people feel happy and supported. However, social media can also have negative effects on our mental health. It can make people feel sad, lonely, or even anxious.
Why does that happen, Dr. Emma? What makes social media make people feel bad?
Great question, Julia. One of the main reasons is that people often compare themselves to others on social media. They see other people's posts about exciting trips, fun parties, or personal achievements. These posts can create the impression that others have perfect, happy lives. When people compare their own lives to these seemingly perfect lives, they can feel inadequate or unhappy with their own situations.
So people are seeing only the best parts of others' lives and comparing them to their own whole lives, including the bad parts.
Exactly, Adam. Social media usually shows just the highlights. People tend to post about their happiest moments and biggest achievements. They don't usually share their struggles, failures, or everyday problems. So what you see on social media is not the full picture of someone's life.
Oh, I see. So it is not real life, it's just the good parts of people's lives.
Yes, Julia. Social media is like a highlight reel. It shows only the best moments. Real life includes ups and downs, good days and bad days. When people forget this and believe that others have perfect lives, they can feel bad about their own lives.
That makes sense, Dr. Emma. What other ways can social media affect our mental health?
Another way social media can affect mental health is through the fear of missing out, or FOMO. FOMO is when people feel anxious or worried that they are missing out on something fun or important that others are experiencing. For example, if they see their friends having a party and they are not invited, they might feel left out and sad.
I can see how that would make someone feel bad. What else should we be aware of?
We should also be aware of cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is when someone uses social media to bully or harass another person. This can include posting mean comments, spreading rumors, or sharing embarrassing photos. Cyberbullying can have a serious impact on someone's mental health, leading to feelings of sadness, anxiety, and even depression.
Cyberbullying sounds very harmful. What can people do if they experience cyberbullying?
If someone experiences cyberbullying, they should talk to a trusted adult, like a parent or teacher, and report the bullying to the social media platform. Most platforms have tools to report and block bullies. It's important not to respond to the bully, as this can make the situation worse. Instead, focus on getting support from friends and family.
That's good advice, Dr. Emma. Is there anything else about social media that can impact our mental health?
Yes, Julia. Another important point is that spending too much time on social media can lead to feelings of loneliness and isolation. Even though social media connects us with others, it can sometimes make us feel more alone. This happens when we spend too much time online and not enough time interacting with people face to face.
So, even though we are connected online, we might feel disconnected in real life?
That's right, Adam. Human beings need real face-to-face interactions to feel truly connected. Social media interactions are not the same as spending time with someone in person. When we rely too much on social media for social interaction, we can start to feel lonely.
That makes sense, Dr. Emma. What can people do to make sure they don't feel lonely or isolated because of social media?
One thing people can do is to make sure they balance their time on social media with time spent in real-life interactions. This means making an effort to spend time with family and friends in person. It can also help to set limits on how much time you spend on social media each day.
That sounds like a good strategy, Dr. Emma. Are there any other tips you can share?
Yes, Adam. It's also helpful to be mindful of how social media makes you feel. If you notice that using social media is making you feel sad, anxious, or stressed, take a break. Use that time to do something you enjoy or spend time with loved ones. Remember, it's okay to step away from social media if it's affecting your mental health.
Thank you, Dr. Emma. These tips are very helpful. It's important to use social media in a way that supports our mental health, not harms it.
You're welcome, Julia. I'm glad to share these tips. Social media can be a great tool if we use it mindfully and balance it with real-life interactions.
Thank you for sharing this valuable information, Dr. Emma. In our next segment, we will talk about the signs of social media impact on mental health and how to recognize them. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with more insights from Dr. Emma.
In this segment, we'll talk about how to recognize if social media is affecting our mental health. Dr. Emma, How can we know if social media is making us feel bad?
That's a great question, Adam. There are several signs that can indicate social media is having a negative impact on your mental health. If you feel sad, angry, or lonely after using social media, it could be a sign that it's affecting you negatively. That's a great question, Adam. There are several signs that can indicate social media is having a negative impact on your mental health. If you feel sad, angry, or lonely after using social media, it could be a sign that it's affecting you negatively.
Dr. Emma, can you give us some more examples of these signs?
Sure, Julia. One sign is if you find yourself constantly comparing your life to others on social media and feeling like your life is not as good. Another sign is if you feel anxious or stressed about missing out on events or activities you see others posting about. Also, if you feel pressure to get likes and comments on your posts, or if you feel upset when you don't get enough engagement, these are signs that social media might be affecting your mental health.
So if we notice these feelings, it means social media might be causing us harm?
Yes, Adam. If you notice these feelings frequently after using social media, it's important to take a step back and evaluate how it's affecting you. These negative emotions can build up over time and impact your overall well-being.
What can we do if we start to feel this way, Dr. Emma? How can we take care of our mental health?
There are several things you can do, Julia. One of the most effective ways is to take a break from social media. Spend some time away from your phone or computer and engage in activities that make you feel good, like reading a book, going for a walk, or spending time with family and friends in real life.
Taking a break sounds like a good idea. How long should these breaks be?
It depends on the individual, Adam. For some people, taking a break for a few hours each day can make a big difference. Others might need a few days or even a week off to really feel the benefits. The key is to find a balance that works for you and helps you feel better.
Dr. Emma, are there other strategies we can use to manage the negative effects of social media?
Yes, Julia. Another strategy is to limit the amount of time you spend on social media each day. You can set specific times to check your accounts and avoid spending too much time scrolling through your feeds. Additionally, it's helpful to be mindful of who you follow. Make sure you're following people and accounts that make you feel positive and inspired, rather than those that make you feel bad about yourself.
That makes sense, Dr. Emma. Are there any tools or apps that can help us manage our social media use?
Yes, Adam. There are several apps that can help you monitor and limit your social media use. Some popular ones include Screen Time for iPhone users and Digital Wellbeing for Android users. These apps can help you set limits on your usage and give you a better understanding of how much time you spend on social media.
That's really helpful, Dr. Emma. What should we do if we find it hard to take a break from social media, or if we feel very attached to it?
It's not uncommon to feel attached to social media, Julia. If you find it hard to take a break, try starting with small steps. Begin by reducing your usage gradually. For example, start by setting a goal to spend 15 minutes less on social media each day, and then slowly increase that time. It's also helpful to replace social media time with other activities that you enjoy and that make you feel good.
Dr. Emma, how important is it to talk to someone about how we are feeling?
It's very important, Adam. Talking to someone you trust, like a friend, family member, or a mental health professional, can provide support and help you process your feelings. They can offer a different perspective and give you advice on how to manage your social media use. Remember, it's okay to ask for help if you're struggling.
Thank you for these insights, Dr. Emma. It's good to know that we can take steps to manage our social media use and take care of our mental health.
You're welcome, Julia. It's important to be proactive about our mental health, especially in today's digital age. By being mindful of how social media affects us and taking steps to manage our use, we can protect our mental well-being.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for sharing this valuable information. In our next segment, we will talk about some positive ways to use social media. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break.
Yes, don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon with more insights from Dr. Emma.
In this segment, we will explore the positive uses of social media and how it can benefit our mental health. Dr. Emma, can social media be good for mental health?
Yes, Adam. Social media can have many positive effects on mental health when used in a healthy and mindful way. It can help people stay connected with friends and family, especially those who live far away. It allows us to share important moments in our lives and keep up with what's happening in the lives of those we care about.
So it's not just about the negative effects. Social media can actually help us feel closer to people we love.
Exactly, Julia. Staying in touch with friends and family is one of the most significant benefits of social media. For example, you can video chat with a friend who lives in another country, share photos of a family gathering with relatives who couldn't attend, or simply send a quick message to let someone know you're thinking of them.
That sounds really positive, Dr. Emma. What are some other ways social media can be good for us?
Another great way social media can be beneficial is by providing a platform for support and help. Many people use social media to join support groups or communities where they can connect with others who have similar experiences. For example, there are groups for people dealing with specific health issues, parenting groups, hobby groups, and many more. These communities can provide emotional support, practical advice, and a sense of belonging.
That's wonderful. It means people don't have to feel alone in their struggles. They can find others who understand what they're going through.
Yes, Julia. Social media can help people feel less isolated by connecting them with others who share their interests and challenges. It can also be a source of inspiration and motivation. For example, following accounts that promote healthy living, mindfulness, or personal growth can encourage positive changes in our own lives.
So, social media can be a tool for learning and personal development as well?
Absolutely, Adam. There are many educational pages and profiles that share useful information and resources. You can learn new skills, discover new hobbies, and stay informed about important topics. Social media can also promote creativity. People share their art, writing, music, and other creative projects, which can inspire others to explore their own creative talents.
It sounds like the key is to use social media in a way that supports our well-being and personal growth.
Exactly, Julia. It's all about how we use it. Here are some tips to help you use social media in a positive and healthy way. 1. Follow positive accounts. Choose to follow people and pages that inspire you, make you happy, or provide useful information. Avoid accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. 2. Limit time. Set time limits for how long you spend on social media each day to ensure it doesn't take over your life. 3. Engage meaningfully. Instead of just scrolling, engage with others by leaving positive comments and messages. This can make your social media experience more interactive and rewarding. 4. Take breaks. Regularly take breaks from social media to recharge and focus on real-life interactions and activities. 5. Be mindful. Pay attention to how you feel when you use social media. If you notice negative feelings, take a step back and reassess your use.
Those are excellent tips, Dr. Emma. It seems like being mindful of our social media use can make a big difference in how it affects us.
And it's reassuring to know that social media can be a positive force if we use it correctly. Dr. Emma, do you have any examples of people who have used social media in a positive way?
Yes, Julia. There are many examples. For instance, some people have used social media to raise awareness about important issues, such as mental health, environmental conservation, and social justice. Others have used it to start businesses, share their art, or fundraise for causes they care about. Social media has also been a powerful tool for bringing people together during times of crisis, helping communities stay informed and support each other.
That's inspiring, Dr. Emma. It shows that social media can be a powerful tool for good when used with purpose and care.
Yes, Adam. Social media has great potential to enhance our lives. It's about making conscious choices about how we engage with it. By focusing on positive interactions, seeking out supportive communities, and balancing our online and offline lives, we can make social media a healthy part of our daily routines.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for sharing these insights. It's encouraging to know that we can take control of our social media use and make it work for us in a positive way.
You're welcome, Julia. I'm glad to share these tips. Remember, social media is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how we use it. By using it mindfully and positively, we can enhance our mental health and well-being.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for joining us today and sharing your expertise. In our next segment, we'll answer some questions from our listeners about social media and mental health. Stay tuned, everyone. We'll be right back after a short break.
Great question, Adam. There are several tips that can help you use social media in a positive and healthy way. First, it's important to limit your time on social media. Spending too much time online can lead to feelings of anxiety, stress, and even depression. Setting boundaries for how long you spend on social media each day can make a big difference.
How can we set these boundaries, Dr. Emma? Is there a specific amount of time that's considered healthy?
It's different for everyone, Julia. A good starting point is to aim for no more than 30 minutes to an hour a day. You can use features on your phone or apps like Screen Time for iPhone users and Digital Wellbeing for Android users to monitor and limit your usage. These tools can help you set daily limits and remind you when you've reached them.
That sounds like a useful tool. What else can we do to use social media in a positive way?
Another important tip is to follow positive accounts. Choose to follow people and pages that inspire you, make you happy, or provide useful information. Avoid accounts that make you feel bad about yourself or that spread negativity. Curating your feed to include only positive and uplifting content can improve your overall social media experience.
So it's about being selective with who and what we follow.
Exactly, Julia. Be mindful of the content you consume. If an account or page consistently makes you feel negative emotions, it's okay to unfollow or mute it. Surround yourself with positivity and support online, just like you would in real life.
What about taking breaks from social media? How important is that?
Taking breaks from social media is very important, Adam. Regular breaks can help you reset and avoid becoming overwhelmed. This can be as simple as taking a few hours off each day or having social media-free days each week. Use this time to engage in offline activities like spending time with family and friends, pursuing hobbies, or simply relaxing.
Are there any specific strategies for taking effective breaks?
Yes, Julia. Here are a few strategies. 1. Scheduled breaks. Set specific times during the day when you will not use social media. This could be during meals, before bed, or first thing in the morning. 2. Digital detox days. Choose one day each week where you completely avoid social media. Use this time to engage in activities that you enjoy and that help you relax. 3. Mindfulness. Practice mindfulness when you feel the urge to check social media. Take a few deep breaths and ask yourself if you really need to check your accounts at that moment, or if there's something else you could do instead.
These strategies seem very practical. What else can we do to ensure our social media use remains healthy?
Another helpful tip is to engage meaningfully. Instead of just passively scrolling through your feed, take the time to interact with others. Leave positive comments, send supportive messages, and engage in meaningful conversations. This can make your social media experience more rewarding and less isolating.
So it's about being active and positive in our interactions, not just consuming content passively?
Yes, Julia. Engaging actively can create a sense of community and support. It's also important to remember that social media should enhance your real-life relationships, not replace them. Use social media to stay in touch and coordinate real-life interactions whenever possible.
Dr. Emma, are there any tips for dealing with negative content or interactions on social media?
Absolutely, Adam. Here are a few tips. 1. Ignore and block. If you encounter negative or harmful comments, don't engage with them. Instead, use the platform's tools to block or report the user. 2. Positive focus. Focus on positive content and interactions. Seek out accounts that make you feel good and avoid those that spread negativity. 3. Seek support. If you encounter persistent negative interactions, talk to a trusted friend or family member about it. They can offer support and advice on how to handle the situation.
That's really helpful, Dr. Emma. What about the content we post ourselves? How can we ensure we are contributing positively to social media?
Great point, Julia. Here are some tips for posting positive content. 1. Be kind. Always be kind and respectful in your posts and comments. Avoid spreading negativity or engaging in online arguments. 2. Share positivity. Share content that inspires, educates, or makes people smile. This could be anything from motivational quotes to helpful tips or fun stories. 3. Authenticity. Be authentic. Share real moments from your life, not just the highlights. This can help create a more genuine and supportive online community.
That makes a lot of sense, Dr. Emma. It sounds like being mindful and intentional with our social media use can really make a difference.
Absolutely, Adam. By being mindful of how we use social media and making intentional choices about the content we consume and share, we can ensure that it supports our mental health rather than harms it.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for sharing these valuable tips. It's clear that social media can be a positive force if we use it thoughtfully and responsibly.
You're welcome, Julia. I'm glad to share these tips. Remember, social media is a tool, and like any tool, its impact depends on how we use it. By using it mindfully and positively, we can enhance our mental health and well-being.
Thank you, Dr. Emma, for joining us today and sharing your expertise. We've learned a lot about how to use social media in a healthy way.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Emma. And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in. We hope you found this episode helpful and that you can use these tips to improve your own social media experience.
Thank you, Adam and Julia. It's been a pleasure to be here. Remember to take care of your mental health and use social media in a way that supports you.
That's a wrap for today's episode, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Don't forget to follow us for more episodes on important topics.
Yes, and if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to reach out. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
We're reaching the end of our podcast today. Dr. Emma, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your valuable insights on social media and mental health.
Thank you, Julia. It was my pleasure to be here and discuss such an important topic with you and Adam. I hope our conversation helps listeners understand how to use social media in a healthy way.
Absolutely, Dr. Emma. Your tips and advice have been incredibly helpful. I'm sure our listeners have learned a lot about how to balance their social media use and take care of their mental health.
We covered a lot of ground today, from understanding what social media is, to discussing its impact on mental health, identifying signs of negative effects, and sharing tips for healthy use. It's clear that while social media has its challenges, it also has many benefits when used mindfully.
That's right, Julia. The key takeaway is to be mindful and intentional with how we use social media. By setting boundaries, following positive accounts, taking breaks, and engaging meaningfully, we can make social media a positive part of our lives.
For our listeners, remember that it's okay to step back from social media if it starts to feel overwhelming. Taking care of your mental health should always come first. Use the tips we discussed today to create a healthier relationship with social media.
And don't forget, it's important to focus on real-life connections as well. Spend time with family and friends in person, enjoy hobbies, and take time to relax away from screens. Balance is key.
Absolutely, Julia. Maintaining a balance between online and offline activities is crucial for our overall well-being. I encourage everyone to find what works best for them and to be proactive about their mental health.
Thank you once again, Dr. Emma, for being with us today. Your expertise has been invaluable, and we're grateful for your time and insights.
Thank you, Adam. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad to have had the opportunity to speak with you and Julia and to share these important messages with your listeners.
And to our listeners, thank you for tuning in to our podcast. We hope you found today's episode helpful and informative. If you have any questions, feedback, or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, please don't hesitate to reach out to us.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you. Your input helps us create content that is relevant and valuable to you. Stay connected with us through our social media channels and website for updates and more resources on mental health and other important topics.
Remember, you're not alone. Whether it's dealing with social media challenges or any other aspect of life, there are always resources and people available to help. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Thank you for being part of our community. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more engaging and informative episodes. See you next time.
Goodbye, everyone. Stay safe and mindful.
Goodbye and take care.